what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Josh Arnold.
Hi, Matthew.
How are the fellows today?
I didn't see you on TV this morning.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1737, March 16th, 2026. Another record on that beautiful spring of 2012. It was 79 degrees on this day in 2012. And it was 10 below on this day in the year 1900. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Height in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
I was telling the boys before the show that if I could set up my lawn chair anywhere in the world to watch boats, I would go right to the shore of the pinch point at the Strait of Hormuz, because I was reading about it over the weekend. And hundreds of boats go through there, well, ships, go through there every day. And apparently it's daunting. The captains have to be on their toes. You got to stick to your lanes, the whole deal. And then Kenny tells me there's an app where I could watch those boats go.
Really?
But it would be animation, right? Not an actual film
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
just little blips on a screen.
Is anybody getting through it at the moment?
I noticed two ships about 5-6 hours ago went through on the north side of the strait.
That'd be the Iranian side.
Correct, yes.
And apparently Iran is letting everyone get through except Israel and the U.S. And the Arabs, they had this...
What does that mean by not letting them through? There's a blockade?
I need to do more research. I don't know how they say to a U.S. boat, you're not moving.
Okay.
I under what? Threat of drone attack, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
But the Arabs had this figured out 40 years ago, that this is not a good deal to wait for this strait to close one day. They've got a pipeline under their country that goes from the strait over to the Persian Gulf.
Just in case something,
Yes.
there would be some shenanigans over the next decades?
Yes. So I haven't gotten gas since the war. Where are we?
I gassed up last night at 3:59.
I'm at 3:14 yesterday.
3:14. Well, that's not my number. I don't know what my number.
3:14?
Yeah, we went up slow for some reason.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what my number is, but it's not 3:14.
Right. Same. 3:59.
What are you going to do?
I needed gas.
What are you going to do?
Airport.
What are you going to do?
Yep.
The president is now calling for the death of reporters who don't report the way he wants them to. You know where he gets off a lot of his insanity is when he stands in the doorway of his airplane when he's flying home from golf.
Yep.
And he stands in the doorway, and, I've always said, to his credit, he'll talk to you. But if he doesn't like what you say, then you're rotten or you should be killed.
Yes.
Other than that, he's very open about it.
Or he'll rip your net worth.
Right. And so he's saying it's treasonous if you don't report the invasion of Iran favorably to him. That would be treasonous.
I don't think that's what treason means.
And I don't want to get shot because you report the truth of the war. I mean, that would be
right.
Or what if you were keel hauled through the Strait of Hormuz? That wouldn't be good.
No.
But he's very upset if you report what's actually happening. If you report what he wants you to report, then you're fine. You're not treasonous, and you can continue to eat lunch and
Is he running out of people that he can rely on?
I don't know what the hell. He also wants the columns on the front of the White House. He doesn't like those.
Oh, I think they're stately. I think you need to have a
column. The White House, Don. I could be wrong, but the White House was never intended to reflect its its current occupant. It's that's not what it was for. It's the ceremonial. It's the ceremonial residence of the president, but the House represents the country. It doesn't represent the particular owner at the time. He didn't seem to let that bother him. He wanted to turn it into what he likes, and so he's got a lot of that gold Elvis stuff, and velvet paintings of ducks, and so now he wants the columns gone.
Yeah,
that's our house.
I disagree with that.
That's our house. Mm-hmm. And he can't get anyone to help him in the Strait of Hormuz. And he's puzzled by that. I don't know why he should be puzzled by that. He denigrated most of the countries in the world and threatened to upend NATO. And now he's wondering, well, if you get your oil from there too, you should participate. And France is saying no, and Germany's saying no, and the UK is likely to say no. Canada has said no, and I feel sad about that. You know why? They're turning on us, the people, because of him.
Okay, I understand that.
Get it?
Yes.
How is Iran controlling the strait?
John, look that up, please.
I am right now.
My fascination with the nautical features and the maritime activity in the strait, I got carried away and down a rabbit hole, and I didn't really look to see how is Iran exactly preventing an American-bound tanker from leaving there. I don't know the answer to that.
You'd think we'd have a little more protection.
Did you see anything, Kenny, aside from mines?
Just the AI overview.
Deploying naval mines, leveraging fast attack boats, drones, and anti-ship missiles, and employing electronic warfare tactics like GPS spoofing.
Mm-hmm. So
what is GPS?
They could let a Chinese ship through because they'll assure the Chinese captain you're set to go, no mines in front of you, something like that.
I guess
we're not going to assault any mines on your lane. No fast attack boats will be coming for you. But they'll tell an American captain, you better hold tight. We have our sights on you. If you move, we can deploy drones and we can mess with your electronics and the whole deal.
That's why I saw those two ships that went through. They were hugging the Iranian shore.
Ah.
They're probably avoiding these mines. Which
Well,
could
either
take
that
weeks to clear.
Either that or that's the way Iran told them to go to avoid mines.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah, we're going to let everybody through except Israel and...
Well, let's follow what these guys do. Follow the two Iranian or the shore ships.
Well, why don't we take you over there and we'll take you out to one of those boats and put you behind the wheel.
I would be crying like a little schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I would not be brave.
So now the president wants other countries to send their warships. It sounds like, let's say that happened. Let's say France and England said, yeah, you're right, we'll send them over there. And you stuff that strait with boats, wouldn't that just give Iran more targets to interfere with electronically?
So we need to shut down the electronic warfare from where it's sourced.
Boy, you'd think they would think of that, wouldn't you? You think Pete would be on top of that.
I would hope so. If some dumbass in Douglas County,
right? Hey,
lets
Pete, there's a guy up in
mouth.
a barn in somewhere in northern Minnesota who said, "Why don't you get the electronic stuff?"
Now I feel like a real jackass for even.
Are you going to run for office now or what?
I'm going to turn this microphone back off.
This is I don't like. You know what feeling I have the constant feeling of uncertainty.
Yeah, you said that last week a couple of times.
Well, it's not going away.
I think it's because you, even during the weekend, saturate yourself with local and national news. You never give yourself a break.
Well, no, even if you take a break, you can't shake the feeling of uncertainty because
Tried
there's
gummies?
because there's no stability right now in the United States. There's nothing is stable.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's an off-putting sensation. Now, the only thing I can say is I can't recall feeling certain, but I think my answer to that would be, well, when there's certainty, you just go about your business and you're fine. When there's uncertainty, it sets in. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it also turns out that the one of the Khomeinis, one of the Ayatollahs, we got the main guy apparently, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But it turns out his kid took over, and the old man never wanted that for his kid because the kid's a dummy. The kid is a complete moron.
He was trying to.
And they're even, he even says, well, no, he wasn't bright enough.
This sounds like a David Spade and Chris Farley movie.
It really
doesn't it?
does. And the guy that took over, the kid, he's another Khamenei. We don't even know if he's alive.
So is he just a leader and he doesn't get the supreme because he doesn't have the.
I don't know if they'd let the word supreme be used on him because the dad was telling his confidants that we gotta, if it ever gets down to Bill here, we're done because he's a complete idiot.
He doesn't know oil from shanola.
And most of these morons, despite their, wearing their robes and their head gear and everything, they educate their kids elsewhere. A lot of these kids get educated at Stanford or London. I can't find anything on this idiot. I don't think they even sent him to school.
Maybe he went to trade school.
I don't know.
No, he's not even good. They sent him to community.
That would have been a ray of
college.
hope to send him to trade school.
No credits. Community college.
He can't even do that.
Just learn
apparently,
your reading and writing.
he followed Dad around, and Dad just kept shaking his head. You're not going to amount to anything. And sure enough, they wipe out the old man, and now you got this kid, and we don't even know if he's alive. He apparently was injured, and yet he keeps issuing statements, which I think might be a little phony.
You think the board might be doing this for him?
I think they got that under.
He's dumber than a bag of hammers.
Right. His name is Mojtaba Khamenei.
Mojtaba.
And he was selected to become Iran's supreme leader last weekend by the Council of Religious Clerics. And all of whom probably were shaking their heads in, oh, my God.
I don't want to, but I am.
Because Ali Khamenei was killed in an Israeli missile strike, so that it falls to the kid then, and that's Mojtaba. And he was believed to have been injured and has been reported to have remained in his father's inner circle. I don't know where the guy is or if he's the leader or
is this
anything.
Some type of
because we
major...
live in the least stable times in my memory.
Yeah, is this some type of Middle Eastern nepism that
yes,
the
it is.
kid
It's nepotism.
Automatically gets it?
The people of Iran have had no say in who represents them. It's these insane religious people. The Council of Clerics. I also read, who knows what you can believe anymore, but the Council of Clerics, they're very holy men. They're killing all the nurses who tried to aid the protesters.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's a great outfit. I have no doubt in the world they should be wiped off the face of the earth. I just
Not
think
those nurses. You mean the guys that are doing
all
that.
the guys.
Yeah, right.
Let them go. They're done. They're useless. They're horrible. But it's not working out.
What would be the point of retribution by killing those nurses because they aided?
Because
they took the oath, right?
Well, that's how they retain their power. With displays of brutality and unconscionably sick behavior, and that keeps the people in line, and that way they get to continue.
Do nurses
go
ahead, John.
I was just going to say, wasn't the number during the protests, they said they killed up to 30,000 protesters, the government did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Trump must have got word that the kid, the new guy,
Yeah.
Trump's calling him a lightweight. See, Trump's being more polite than I would be. The guy's a moron.
Right.
And Trump thinks he's an unacceptable. Remember when Trump said, "I'll name the new leader of Iran"? That was in the first couple
he
days.
offered his services. To,
couple
he
days,
thought he
first
was a little
couple
more-
days of the war, he was going to offer. He was, "I'll take care of you."
I got you,
Well,
next
they
guy.
didn't go for that. They'd rather have the moron than let Trump name somebody.
The Supreme.
The supreme moron. This Motaba Mani is Iran's third supreme leader since 1979 Islamic Revolution.
Are we talking the Gilligan now? The dum-dum?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the third leader, supreme leader. He follows his dad, and his dad apparently followed Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. The succession from father to son is notable because the revolution overthrew a hereditary monarchy.
That was the Shah, right?
That was the Shah.
That was the Shah of Iran.
Is the Shah still around? He's still around, isn't he? Didn't he offer to go back? I got to see if the Shah.
I don't know what happened to the
I'm
Shah.
going to find out.
That's what gave birth to that television show Nightline. Remember
Yes.
with
Yeah.
what was
Ted
it?
Koppel.
Ted Koppel. That 400 and some day capture of U.S. people.
Rook, he died in 1980.
Oh,
Attaboy.
well, if he was around, he'd really be. That'd be amazing, huh?
His son apparently was ready
Oh,
to take over.
But see,
Worth $2 billion.
The Council of Clerics, they didn't like that hereditary channel.
so when the Shah was around, now let me just help me on history here. They were the Iranians a free people and didn't have to follow the clerics, but they still had to.
Yes, more free than this current version of the country.
They still had to follow Muslim laws
Yeah,
and
but
things like that.
they didn't have to wear the outfit. And,
Okay.
they
Okay.
could-
And once Ayatollah Khomeini came in, Shah's gone. He's doing
and
Sharia law.
And now you do what we tell you, or you get whipped or dead
Okay.
or whatever.
We should teach history or social studies at the very least.
And that's like the Cliff Notes, wasn't it? Basically, I summarized 3 decades in 37 seconds, stumbling around.
Cliff Notes of the Cliff Notes.
I
Yes.
have a note from somebody named Jim Engerbretson.
I don't know him.
Jeez.
With yesterday's snowstorm, the next couple of days will be difficult for postal carriers due to cold temperatures and accumulated snow cover. While it is your custom just to let it melt on its own, please suggest to GLers to clear their mailboxes anyway. Your continued support of the USPS is greatly appreciated. Signed, Jim Engerbretson, Carrier Technician. P.S. I got an instant cartoon bubble from your reporting on a state senator wishing to grant rights to wild rice. I have created a picture where he has come up with Rice Lives Matter. Wild Rice Lives Matter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that might be Angie.
I'm not sure. Maybe a cousin, distant cousin.
Now, he takes a shot at me there, which is unfounded. He said, well, it is your custom to just let it melt. No, I made it perfectly clear that as tempting as it is at this time of year to just let it go, you couldn't let yesterday's snowfall go. It had to be, you had to maintain space
3 times with that wind.
because of the cold weather we're experiencing today and tomorrow and into Wednesday. So I did make one concession, though. I walked out today to look at the hump and said, "The hell with it. We can get over that. I'm not
get over the
shoveling the hump. I'll let that one go." But I had to do the driveway, or you couldn't have got out of the garage.
No, and when the plows come through, that hump can get crusty or
It wasn't bad. It's low enough that I'm not going to
take
deal
a good run at it.
I'm not going to deal with the hump.
Okay.
I got through it just fine today. The other car in the house got through it just fine. It's fine. The hump's not a problem. It was yesterday.
I really must say, as a person who, we have a couple vehicles on the street, and nothing is more satisfying than after the plow goes through to park your car there. To not have to worry about, are they coming by, Once they come by, it's you get to park there.
Where did you put them in the meantime?
On the side street or in the driveway, but the driveway's on the side of the house, so it's not the most convenient to walk.
I also had a note from Steve Wilson. He's our friend up in Aiken.
Yes, Steve and Julie.
Hail the keeper of nuts and bolts.
Hail you.
I had the good fortune of meeting Ann Nentel from Aiken the other day at our condo in Florida. Small world. She comes from a very well-known family up there in Aiken.
Okay.
Must be a Summit Avenue in Aiken.
I was going to say, I don't know any Aiken people.
Anyway, she had an Anguilla shirt on, and I asked her where she got it. She looked at me like I was the dumbest guy on the planet. Maybe the Ayatollah's kid, would say something like that.
Yeah, he's right on par.
And said enthusiastically, I got an Anguilla. It's my favorite spot in the world. I told her that I thought that was a make-believe place because I heard it from a make-believe mayor of a make-believe town in a make-believe county. Then I told her about the GL podcast and how it was number one in Anguilla, and asked her if she ever heard of Joe Souchere or Sports Talk or Gumption County, and she got a very puzzled look and said, can't say I have.
Yeah, you're not helping, Steve.
Then she metaphorically asked, what's coming up on the ride? Either way, I'm glad your show is number one in Anguilla, but I wonder if you should let the people of Anguilla know that. Boom.
Yeah,
That's Steve Wilson. Thank you, Steve. Yeah.
Well, I think if you're driving around Anguilla,
There's a picture of her here.
well, you
She's
already
very
know.
tan. This Ann person is very tan.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Been living in the sun.
every service station you go by with the doors up, or every coffee shop you go into, GL is always playing.
In Gumption County, not on the outskirts of.
In
Dry
Anguilla.
candy.
Oh, in Anguilla. Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow. See what you go. See ya. Let's keep trying.
It's Monday.
Let's keep trying. We
gotta
can get
build up.
through it.
We got to build up the hill.
Okay, we're going to keep trying with a great note from Chris from Hugo.
Okay.
Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you!
On Thursday's podcast, you dove deep into the source of the fraud in Minnesota. You wondered if the fraud was designed on purpose and not simply organic over the years. You went as far as suggesting that some sort of powerful group of behind-the-scenes people got to Walls at the beginning of the fraud, lightly slapped him a few times on the cheek, and basically said, nothing to see here, Tim. Just move on. We'll take care of it. You just nod your head and smile. So the fraud exploded under Walls' leadership because he became complicit by taking direction from this local fraud leadership group, which in turn makes up a large portion of his Minneapolis voting bloc. What you are suggesting is the presence of a brotherhood that both you and Patrick described was present many, many years ago. The brotherhood that you and Patrick described back in the day was most likely made up of community business leaders and the like. Not most likely, that's exactly what it was made up of. That had the power to bend the ear of elected officials and guide political focus and economic development in Minnesota. Might I suggest that the brotherhood you and Patrick described is alive and well today, but looks very different than yesteryear, and this time around has fraudulent, self-enriching goals. To be more specific, when I watched that secret recording of Ellison and the Somali fraudsters, it just screams that in that recording we had a front row seat to a brotherhood meeting where local fraudsters were bringing a high-ranking elected official to heel. Remember when we heard that in order to be elected in Minneapolis, candidates must go through the Safari restaurant? Almost like Minneapolis candidates in campaign funding got approved by some elusive group of decision makers that were using the Safari restaurant as a 1940-style clubhouse, which served as the epicenter of the new Minneapolis Brotherhood. In reading about that, the Safari restaurant has always reminded me of a certain olive oil storefront in New York City in the 40s, and we all know what went on there. I believe the Minneapolis Brotherhood is alive and well, albeit its current cast of characters have very different backgrounds, methods, and goals. Good luck, Chris from Hugo. That's brilliant. He's right. He's right. There is a brotherhood, and it isn't a brotherhood interested in the advancement of commerce. It isn't a brotherhood interested in the welfare and overall success of the city of Minneapolis. It's a brotherhood designed to enrich few. I think that's, well, it's brilliant. He's right. And we're now learning... well, wait a minute. I got to tell you something first. I don't want to do that right now. I got to wait a second because it's going to take some conversation.
You got some business.
I want to tell you about EcoFun Motorsports. Right now, look at this latest snowfall won't hold you back. You still get there. It's the best store you've ever been in your life, and you can get all your spring equipment, including electric bikes, starting at $8.99. 400 electric bikes in stock. 130 motorcycles on display, youth recreational equipment, water equipment, jet skis and wave runners. There's 25 different models in stock to get you ready for the water, and you get a new free trailer with the deal. It's a $1,500 value. It's EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake / Columbus. It's directly immediately west of Interstate 35 on Highway 97. A couple of roundabouts and Bing Bang Boo, there you are. Great big new store, the most fun store you'll ever enter. And down in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life. So everything you need for the riding season, either electric bikes or gas-powered two-wheel stuff, man, they got it. It's great, and they have a very interesting website, ecofunmotorsports.com. Back to me. Yeah. All right. I want to tell you about what Walls is up to. This is from the American Experiment. Part of the DFL's immigration is a handout of $40 million of Minnesota taxpayer money to pay people's rent. I guess Fox 9 came up with this. Lawmakers say the state has seen about 4,000 eviction filings through February, indicating a record pace, and Democrats say it may get worse as a result of people staying home during the ICE surge. We're on the edge of an eviction crisis in Minnesota, said Senator Lindsey Port. This bill is intended to address it all across the state to keep people stably housed. It's Senate File 3596 and House File 3403. It would use funds drawn from a reserve initially created to reimburse homeowners whose properties were foreclosed and sold for more than they owed in property taxes. The argument is that during Operation Metro Surge, some people were afraid to go to work, lost their wages, and and fell behind on their rent, so Minnesota taxpayers should cover the difference. The measure applies primarily people in the United States illegally. Lest there be any doubt about this, Senator Eric Lucero, Republican, offered an amendment to the bill stipulating that the funds only go to individuals who are United States citizens or who otherwise have lawful immigration status. Every single Senate DFLer, including the media's go-to moderate, Senator Judy Seeberger, voted against it. The Marxists we have in the legislature, they used to be the DFL party. They no longer are. They want the taxpayers to cover all the bills for the illegals. Even more bizarre were the votes, again, by every single DFLer in the Senate to block Republican amendments which would have excluded a household that includes a person who is required to register as a predatory offender under Minnesota statutes. We don't want to do that. Give them the money, too. And a household that includes a person who has been charged with or convicted of a crime under state or federal law relating to defrauding a government program of theft of public funds. They don't. The DFLers do not want to exclude those people. They want to pay everybody. The bill is clearly a signature piece of legislation for the DFL. No sooner had the Senate voted it through than Governor Walz himself chimed in with his support.
Why do they want the money to go to the baddies?
Because that's who votes for them. That's my simple answer.
I need the in-depth.
Because they are democratic socialist Marxists who hold American convention in suspicion and in abeyance, and would do anything in their power to upend the way America works, and including
empowering criminals.
Yes, including giving $40 million of your money to people who fell behind in rent. That's a tough situation. There could be ways dreamed up to address that. But these people have taken it further, and we're not excluding anyone who fell behind on the rent if someone happens to be in that home who's guilty of a crime, or if someone happens to be in that home who should be tagged as a predator. We're not going to, they get the money too.
And this passed the Senate.
Yes, and Walsh jumped on board. He's all for it.
But it will not pass the House.
Probably not. Probably not.
That's the only thing saving us
but
from a lot of legislation being pushed through right now.
This is who runs Minnesota. These people run the state of Minnesota, and they have no respect whatsoever for any tradition, decency, convention, whatever. You're harboring a criminal. We're going to pay you if you fell behind your rent.
That's indefensible. There's nothing you can say that will make that right.
But if they're trying to be admirable, wouldn't it be more feasible to give that money to a loyal constituent that's in trouble and is? I'm not for that.
Well, I just read this, Matt. You had a Republican introduce an amendment, Eric Lucero, who said, "Can we stipulate that the funds only go to individuals who are United States citizens or who otherwise have lawful immigration status?" And every single Senate DFLer said no.
I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand why the Republicans would say that. I don't understand why.
No, Matt.
Well,
I'm going to say it once more. Be quiet.
Yeah.
A Senate Republican offered an amendment to say, let's only provide this bailout to lawful U.S. citizens or people with lawful U.S. immigration status. Only they get the money.
Copy.
The Democrats said no. If you're unlawful, you get the money.
It's all backwards.
Well, no kidding. But you said, why would a Republican do that? Well, a Republican's doing that because it makes sense. A Republican is offering an amendment saying, we don't like that you want to give the money to criminals. We're here to say, let's just give it to U.S. citizens.
That part I do understand, but I'm saying why even bring it up in the first place?
Thank goodness the House is evenly split, and it has no chance in the House. But, man, the fact that it's even out there and that it passed the Senate is shocking.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. That is absolutely indefensible, Joe. I mean, you could argue all day long about creating another $40 million program to throw after fraud. I mean, that's a fun argument. We could talk about that all day. But letting the criminals benefit from this and refusing to discuss it.
Because you are governed by a democratic socialist body that believes that those criminals are merely the victims of oppression.
How can they even look themselves in the mirror?
They're proud failed academy proselytizers.
I don't understand how you could in your mind make that work. Rationalize that.
Have you read me the list of the DFLers? I could explain individually why everyone could come up with that.
Yeah.
Is it going to come to you need to take a test in order to become a legislator and really work on these things that have to do with your constituents on a daily basis?
Well, that'd be nice, but I don't
what,
think they would vote
kind
to
of
create
world are you
that.
dreaming of, Matthew? Come on.
don't
That
think
makes
they
too
would.
much sense.
I do not think they would vote to create that for themselves.
Oh, that's like term limits and,
Right.
Why don't we take a time out and take a breath here as soon as you hit that button.
survive. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble.
I like the casual.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
We have GLers all over, including Oklahoma. That's where Rick lives. He sent us a video of a YouTuber mechanic that used Seafoam engine treatment for the very first time to stop an engine from surging. You know what? We all know what's going to happen here, so I'll just jump right to the end. Big surprise. It worked. It worked well. It's always fun seeing Seafoam correct an ill-running engine by cleaning the carbs or the injectors. It's also fun. I've had a few people send me negative Seafoam stuff, and it's always fun watching these guys telling me that Seafoam doesn't work when I've been using it successfully for years and years and years, long before Seafoam came on as a partner here at GL. Good try, folks, but you can't tell us Seafoam doesn't work when we've been using it for years. But it was only after they came on board that I learned of a lot of really creative ways to use Seafoam, thanks to GLers and the website. It's more than just putting your cylinders to bed or waking them up. It cleans all the passageways in the top end of the engine, and if you dump it in the crankcase, it helps break loose all the carbon and sticky gunk that builds up after years and years. And the great thing about Seafoam, it's available all over everywhere, and truly a wonderful product in a world of bad gas. Seafoam.
John, I'm still collecting my thoughts. We are going to go to you.
Okay.
And this is John Haidt, and he is in our newsroom.
Before I do that, I did find an excuse the Democratic sponsor of that bill gave.
Yeah. Who is the Democratic sponsor?
It's not a very good excuse, I will say that. It was authored by DFL Senator Lindsey Port. And when Lucero tried to amend it to ensure all the U.S. citizens and legal residents can use the rental assistance funds, Port lobbied against the Lucero amendment, saying, quote, the Trump administration could rescind legal status for various groups on a whim. So that's
well,
really
the
a
big
very
problem
good
the
excuse.
state faces is if you campaign for common sense, that means you're pro-Trump. That's the problem in Minnesota.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That kind of makes your point right there.
See, you can be opposed to walls and you can be opposed to these democratic, socialist, Marxist. That doesn't mean you're pro-Trump. It means you're trying to get this state back into a mechanism of responsibility and logic. And,
Shame on you, Joe.
Yeah, but that just means you're pro-Trump.
Right.
Yep.
Didn't know that about you.
In this state, that's what it means.
Didn't know that about you.
Let me write that down. Joe, pro-Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
Put that
The
in the
problem
notes,
with trying to get the state back to working the way it should is we haven't even started yet. The pendulum isn't even swinging that way. We're still going away from common sense.
Right.
As shown in this bill.
This bill tells you that.
Yeah.
More on that bill after John's news.
I know, but it's got me thinking.
I know, me too.
Let's move into the news here. The big news over the weekend, of course. It was a snowy weekend here in Minnesota. As of 5 this morning, totals ranged from 5 to 14 inches around the Twin Cities metro. Some areas farther south and east reported over 20 inches of snow. Woo! We got 2 inches of snow in Duluth. The northern suburbs up here where I live got between 8 and 9 inches.
I'm going with the foot.
That'd be about right, it sounds like. The southern suburbs, Apple Valley, 14 inches. Zumbro Falls, 20 inches. This all shouldn't last too long. Cold today and tomorrow, but 40s on Wednesday and Thursday, and into the 50s Friday and Saturday. Lots of highways during all of this in southwest Minnesota were closed, but MnDOT says as of 9:30 this morning, everything opened, but still a lot of snow-impacted areas. They were still advising as of mid-morning, no travel in parts of southern Minnesota, even though the roads were open. The State Patrol reported over 450 property damage crashes, 40 injury crashes, 1 fatality, 46 spinouts, and over 650 vehicles off the road during the weekend snowstorm. Meanwhile, things at the airport, yes, I'm looking at you, Rook, starting to return to normal as of Monday morning. As of 8 a.m., only about 60 flights in and out of MSP had been canceled, with the vast majority remaining on time.
I will say from my experience this morning, started at about 5 o'clock, and it was, Terminal 1 was a well-oiled machine. Terminal 2 was good. I think Sun Country had some trouble in their lobby due to staffing positions, but everything else, everybody came early, and it was not a mad rush fest at the airport.
The last plane in Saturday night, Sunday morning was 12:30 a.m. Sunday, and that carried the Toronto Maple Leafs, who then beat the Wild
too bad
yesterday.
they didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Humiliated the Wild yesterday. John, I do have an update. That no travel advisory that you mentioned will be lifted by 1 p.m. for all state highways.
Perfect.
So,
Always stories like that on podcasts, I never really know how to handle. So I just do it the way
Somebody
I used
might
to.
get that in July.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
In
next
Anguilla.
Friday. It'll be 50 degrees, and they'll be
Right.
wondering why I'm saying no travel. Minneapolis and St. Paul public schools are closed today. Elementary students at Minneapolis Public have no classes, while middle and high school students have e-learning. In St. Paul, classes for all students are canceled. After-school events and activities at both districts will also be canceled. Nearly 200 schools remain across the state have canceled class or moved to e-learning amid the heavy snowfall.
I was around parents last night who were absolutely despondent at the news.
Yes.
They just said, oh, no. Oh, no.
You know, this is, it was an event, but it did not warrant closing every single school in the state.
And I'll tell you something else. I got news for you.
Go.
It was pretty weak compared to the Halloween blizzard.
Yes. I went in there on Sunday morning, and at 4:15, every flight was, I couldn't believe it. Every flight, inbound and outbound, had canceled next to it.
you two living there in the city, Joe and Matthew, how was your street plowing?
Well, we had a guest last night from Chicago who had to park about 3 blocks away and then call, and one of the 4-wheel drive vehicles went to get him. And he said, don't you people pay taxes? We had a plow rumble through about 10 o'clock last night.
South St. Paul was pristine.
You guys would not like living in the country.
What time did you get plowed this morning?
Just plan on them not showing up.
Yeah.
That's how. You've got to be self-sufficient here. They finally did my gravel road this morning.
Do you have a truck?
I do. I plowed yesterday. Yeah.
I setting you up there for your answer.
Wow.
No,
I thought you had
actually, that's
three.
kind of a hurtful question right now because I used the plow truck yesterday for hours, and this morning it won't start. And yeah,
He rode her hard and put her away
He
with
did. He did.
battery, alternator, starter. I
Something's
don't
wrong.
know.
Let me give a big thumbs up to the Andover folks because I went out to shovel Sunday morning at 7:30, and they had already plowed my street,
Good
which
Lord.
meant, of course, I had to shovel out the bottom of the
big
driveway. But
hump,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Not in St. Paul. You just hold tight. They'll get to it.
Political candidate and Edina Airbnb host who tossed a tarantula toward a tenant has been found guilty on 3 criminal charges after a brief trial.
This is our gal.
This
Yeah,
is,
she was on
Hot
the show.
Crazy Matrix.
32-year-old Marissa Simonetti, one-time guest on the Garage Logic podcast,
Well, it
was
shows you
convic-
what we know.
You don't have to report everything, John.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was convicted. Always people complaining when we report the facts, Was convicted on charges of gross misdemeanor harassment, misdemeanor domestic assault, and disorderly conduct in connection with her actions leading up to a June 21st, 2024 arrest. According to the complaint, Simonetti began acting erratically toward a woman who was renting out the basement of her home and was studying for the bar exam after the guest suggested hiring pest control to deal with large spiders in the basement. Well, then on June 20th, the guest called police because Simonetti had intercepted her grocery delivery and refused to hand the items over. The next day, the guest called 911 multiple times, saying she was being harassed by Simonetti. At first, the guest reported Simonetti clanging pots and pans upstairs while she was trying to study. Simonetti had also shut off internet to the home, and the guest reported feeling scared. 2 hours later, the guest called 911 again to report Simonetti and a man identified in charging documents as Michael Held had taken apart the door leading to the basement and had gotten through. The guest left her laptop out at the bottom of the stairs to record what was happening as she hid in her room. When police got there, they discovered pins, tacks, nails, a live tarantula, which was moving around and appeared to be the contents of a terrarium dumped down the stairs, along with some small toys. Police also noted a foul odor near the top of the stairs. The victim's video showed Simonetti throwing the tarantula from a container and spraying something on the steps. She then throws the tacks and other items down the stairwell. Audio captures Simonetti yelling and hooting about Jesus before commenting about the tarantula that I just bought. Simonetti is also heard commenting about a spider infestation and saying, "This is why you never bleep with Marissa Simonetti."
Let's have her on again.
Yeah, let's do that. I was taken to task yesterday by some gals that hadn't listened to the podcast at the time we had her on, but now are big fans of. Why did you have her on?
We don't know,
We
Matt.
didn't know at the time that she was.
I didn't know she was,
It
Hot
might have
Crazy
been
Matrix.
might have been Chris's doing.
yeah, she's
You know what?
and
That
it might have
be
been
right.
just based on appearances
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
But I remember when you guys had her on your show, and
Wait a
I was
minute.
I
You
was
were
listening
part of
at
it.
home.
No, you were part of
I
the
was
show.
minding my own business, listening at home.
In fact, I think we were championing her as the kind of candidate we need. Who,
Let's go.
but-
How did we find you?
I think you're
Don't
right.
you remember when we had her on? She kind of sounded like she just decided to run 1 minute before we
Yes,
called her.
yes.
She was just making shit up on the fly.
Right.
it's wonderful.
She is running again.
Oh,
just so you
good.
know.
Let's vote for her.
She is running for election to the U.S. Senate to represent Minnesota.
Yeah.
She declared her candidacy for the general election that's scheduled on November 3rd, 2026. And she ran for, what did she run for? I'm trying to see, but I can't.
She was running
find
for
it.
a state Senate seat.
Oh,
I
you're
thought it
right.
was something in Edina.
It was general election U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we have?
She lost. Though.
Do we have an update on her companion or whoever Mark Held?
He's
Mike
embarrassed.
Held.
Does he stand by her side or is he long gone? We don't know.
Only after 1 a.m.
Got it. Understood.
I know how she could be guaranteed a victory, Joe. It's really easy. Just be a Democrat.
Well, that's true.
She'll win.
Yeah.
The Mall of America's top floor Hooters restaurant and bar will close this month, bringing its long run as an original MOA tenant to a close. Last day of service, Sunday, March 22nd. After last call, there'll be no more Hooters left in all of Minnesota. Denver-based Restaurants of America, Inc., which operates the Mall of America location, cited stiff competition plus record-high inflation and costs in deciding to close. I knew somebody would.
Yeah.
Restaurants of America owns other franchise restaurants in Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. Company said the overall business is financially stable and it is closing locations that negate their overall profitability.
Do you know when it opened, John?
I think it
Well,
was
if it's an
92,
original tenant, it'd be
Day one, right?
92.
August of 92. Do you think any of the same waitresses that started at Hooters in 92 are still there? Let's see. That's
Yes, but even though they were on the
02, 012. So it'd be 35 years later. They'd be about 60.
well, they Kenny, they started on level 3, but now they're on level 1. Those gals are on level 1 right now.
No, you know what? You can have your fun. You know, you want to keep it up.
Maybe if they just
Come on,
changed
Ethel.
But that's a bad sign.
change the name of the restaurant, Joe, to maybe Droopers.
Well, that's a sign that nothing's working here. Nothing's
Are you
can't
pro
even-
Hooters?
Yes,
you
I
like
am.
the chicken wings. You went there for the
I've
wings.
never been there, but I was glad there was a Hooters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that puts us on the map like a...
No, you're missing the point. It's just another business that's saying the hell with the people around here. They're not showing up. The hell with it. Let's get out of here.
Doesn't Joe defending a Mall of America
Yeah.
place, huh?
Let
How about
alone
that?
Hooters.
You sound
Times
kind of like
change.
it sounds like you're taking over for Chris Reavers when he talks about downtown Minneapolis.
Oh,
Wow.
God. That's hurtful.
Playing the role of Chris Reavers today
Well,
is
it
Joe
kinda sounds
Souter.
like Chris.
No, it's hurtful. It is.
Oh, okay. Let's move along here. In national and
I bet if
international,
Reavers was here, he'd have a good Hooters story or two, wouldn't he?
you know
Town
what?
ball or something.
Have we all been there? I've never been.
I've never been
I've
to
never
one.
been there.
Never
No.
been.
No.
Gabe?
If I would have been by myself, it would have been sad, and I
Right.
never would have dragged a family over there. Let's go to Hooters. They've got really good chicken breasts.
Well, why
Hey,
not
now.
just go to King of Diamonds for the brunch?
That's good.
I mean,
we
if
do
that's
that,
what
but
you
on
want.
Saturdays,
Yeah.
first Saturday.
Now changing topics completely national and international news in the Middle East. Israel launching a wave of new airstrikes against Iran and Lebanon yesterday, claiming more than 7,000 strikes since the war began. The country says it plans to hit thousands of additional targets, anticipating at least 3 more weeks of hostilities. The updates come as the U.S. military struck Karg Island, vital to Iran's oil industry. The U.S. and Iran said those strikes did not impact Iran's oil infrastructure. However, President Trump threatened further action if Iran continues to block the Strait of Hormuz, which normally transports about 20% of the world's oil. The president called on China, France, Japan, South Korea, the UK, and others to help secure ships' passage. So far, though, no movement in that direction from any of those countries. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi denied Trump's claim that the country is interested in a ceasefire. He also said Russia and China were providing Iran with military cooperation. Story you talked about earlier, Joe. Brendan Carr, the chairman of the FCC, threatened on Saturday to revoke broadcasters' licenses over their coverage of the war with Iran.
They told the truth.
As the war entered its third week,
Lock them up.
Carr accused broadcasters of, quote, running hoaxes and news distortions in a social media post and warned them to correct course before their license renewals come up. He shared a Truth Social post by President Trump that criticized the news media for its coverage of the war with Iran. Specifically, he referred to a story by the Wall Street Journal. Dow Jones and Company, which publishes the Wall Street Journal, did not respond to a request for comment. In a similar vein, this started last week with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He complained about CNN's coverage of the war in the Middle East during a news conference, saying he looked forward to the news network being controlled by David Ellison. Ellison, who has a friendly relationship with the president, is the owner of Paramount Skydance, which is seeking to buy Warner Brothers Discovery for $111 billion. That deal, if it closes, would bring CNN under Ellison's purview. He's best known in the journalism world for shaking up leadership at CBS News, where longtime journalists are resigning after Barry Weiss took over the head spot there. Since taking over the FCC chairmanship at the start of Trump's term, Carr has regularly raised the possibility of seizing station licenses over various programming decisions at major television networks.
So Carr is just one of Trump's bimbos.
Yeah.
So I'd look
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I think running the FCC, I'd want somebody a little more integrity than that, huh?
Richard Grinnell
Am I
stepping
alone
down.
on that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it goes without saying.
I think you weren't really out on a limb there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Richard Grinnell is stepping down from his role as the interim head of the Kennedy Center before the venue closes down for major renovations. Grinnell, a former ambassador who also serves as Trump's envoy for special missions, will be replaced by Matt Floca, vice president of the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, the president said in a social media post. Trump, whose administration has affixed his name to the venue in apparent violation of the law and has taken over programming by replacing the center's leadership, said Floca will oversee renovations scheduled to start this year. The president's personal involvement in Kennedy Center leadership has led to fundraising problems, prompting the president to bring in a longtime supporter to shore up the center's finances. Numerous artists canceled performances there before the president closed the center. After the president first announced plans to rebuild, he told reporters the project won't be a complete teardown of the Washington landmark, but would instead be a renovation that preserved some elements of the existing building. At the Oscars last night, one battle after another, the big winner taking home the ceremony's top prize for Best Picture.
That was a hell of a movie.
Along with 5 other awards, including Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson, Best Supporting Actor for Sean Penn, and Best Adapted Screenplay. The other big winner of the night was Sinners, which won 4 awards, including Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan and Best Original Screenplay. Jessie Buckley continued her sweep this awards season, winning Best Actress for her role in Hamnet.
The One Battle After Another is the only nominated film I saw, and it won.
Yeah, I saw Sinners at One Battle After Another, so I guess I saw.
Is Sinners any good?
I don't think you'd like it. I loved it.
I probably wouldn't.
It's,
Well, what is it? Is it about sinning?
No, it's set in the 30s during Jim Crow, and it turns into a vampire movie, and the
I don't do
allegories
that. Yeah.
the allegories are very rich, shall we say?
I
It's
think
about
so.
blues music.
Yeah.
Are we to make anything about Sean Penn snubbing the Oscars? Or
He
is
was
this-
he's at Ukraine, buddying up to Zelensky.
He was quite good.
Oh God, he should have won it. He was unbelievably good.
If you saw that, Joe, how about the scene where DiCaprio's character is talking to the guy on the phone, the
Yep.
other
I
revolutionary?
love it.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
I'm surprised DiCaprio didn't win. I think he should have won too.
Michael B. Jordan was really good.
I'm
in
sure.
Sinners.
I'm sure. I didn't see it, so I can't say.
Sean Penn says, despite indoor smoking bans, he has an addiction and he won't quit, even calling it job security for oncologists.
Oh, that's very smart of him.
Right. It's not quite like Patrick's aluminum mining
Right.
jobs of the future, but okay.
Well, it's the Mellencamp thing. 2 heart attacks. He said,
What
I'll
the
die
hell?
with a cigarette in my hand.
Yeah.
So
But the fact that he considers himself so special that he figures he can smoke
He
where
can beat
others
it.
can't,
Yeah.
that's really off-putting.
Well, he's not going to beat it, so he'll keep an oncologist in business.
Yeah, but he was at an awards ceremony a couple of weeks ago where he was puffing indoors the whole time.
Yeah. I don't care, really, to tell you the truth.
You're going to lose any sleep over it?
No.
Okay.
I do, Joe. I'm one of those ex-smokers that think all smokers are evil, and I can't stand this. Okay, that's not true either.
Outrage.
a black bear. If you haven't seen this, you should go watch it because it's kind of fun just to watch the first 30 seconds. A black bear unexpectedly wandered into the background of a live KTLA report Sunday morning as crews covered an earlier bear encounter in a Monrovia neighborhood. Reporter Aaron Myers was teasing the upcoming story at the top of the 9 a.m. broadcast when the animal appeared behind her in the driveway of a home. The property where the trap is set in the 700 block of Oak Glade Drive is where residents say a bear has been living underneath the house. The homeowner, who declined to appear on camera, told the TV station the animal is believed to be a mother bear with a cub and that they've been living there for several months. Officials with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife are on the scene monitoring the bear and trying to trap it. Authorities also are investigating whether the bear is connected to a recent encounter in which a woman walking her dog in the neighborhood was swiped on the leg. The woman suffered only minor injuries and is expected to recover. The bear, by the way, just kind of wandered away down the neighborhood, so the reporter was in no danger. But it was kind of fun to see. Since the war began in the Middle East, the phone at Ron Hubbard's bomb shelter company in Texas hasn't stopped ringing. Foreign and U.S. clients are rushing to buy his bunkers, seeking refuge in case of air raids, nuclear fallout, or apocalypse. With the United States and Israel bombing Iran and Tehran retaliating with strikes across the region, Hubbard says he's seen a big demand for his products soar, mostly from Gulf nation clients in Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. He said, "You can imagine how many people are thinking, I really wish I had a bomb shelter." The respect and demand for the product right now is really at an all-time high, he said, like he's never seen it before. But with missiles hitting U.S. targets in the Middle East and violence on the rise domestically, he said Americans also are worried. On a recent morning, a client from Florida called Hubbard to inquire about a shelter for 10 people. Basic background, bunker housing 4 people underground for up to a week while shielding them from any radiation would cost about $25,000. More sophisticated models designed for year-long stays can cost millions of dollars depending on how much food, energy, and water they end up stocked with.
If the big one really hits, what good does it do you to be in a bomb shelter? When you come out, it's the road.
Right.
There's nothing there.
Ash,
Go
gray.
the hell with it.
No water.
Just get me to Yarmouth's and I'll
Let's
just
go.
wait it out.
Right.
You know.
Depending on the budget, the interior can resemble a small apartment with a living room and a TV. Although, if the big one dropped, well, I guess you could stream, huh? A bedroom. Well, no, you couldn't either. There'd be no internet.
There'd be nothing, John. So, what good does it do you to live in a basement with about 10 cans of soup? Big
How
deal.
fun would it be, though, to be the very last person on Earth, all alone?
I don't think it'd be fun at all.
Oh, my God, it would be the best.
Well, you couldn't go anywhere or do anything.
Why?
Everything would be destroyed.
No.
Yeah, the roads would be full of potholes. And,
Nah. Nah.
Overgrowth.
Be fun.
yeah.
Great song intro. We're going to have a good time, a summer smoker on the lawn. It's just a dugout that my dad built in case the Russians decide to push the button down. There we go.
Who wrote that, John?
Donald Fagen, New Frontier.
Oh, boy, that's great.
See, what I tell you before the show.
Yeah. Okay, John.
Okay, John. And let's see. We got one more story.
Yeah,
here.
just do one more.
One more.
One more, Johnny.
A very bored fella has completed a quest to park in all the spots at his local grocery store in Great Britain. 5 years after accomplishing the same feat at another branch. 44-year-old Gareth Wild previously spent 6 years mapping out every spot at his local supermarket in Bromley, southeast London, before he finished up the task in 2021. Well, then he and his family moved to Wiltshire in 2024, and he decided it was time to kick off the challenge again at his local grocer's, Sainsbury's. He mapped out all 108
John, you can stop.
Yeah?
You can
Yes,
stop.
Joe?
No, that's I
You
can't.
have important
Actually,
message?
that was really, really good because it brought up a whole bunch of questions in my mind that I'd love to flesh out here over the next 15, 20
Well,
minutes.
why isn't he locked up somewhere? Is what my question would be.
My question is, don't you have your favorite parking spot, like say at work? And I'm not directing this at you, Joe, and trying to out you in any way. I had, when I worked down there, look at the
I
look
will
on
when
Joe's
I'm the
face.
damn done.
Because I got there early every day, the same spot every single day. And if somebody was in that spot when I pulled into the lot at 5 a.m., it ruined my whole day. I was angry all day.
I live by one rule: never be an optimist in a parking lot.
Yeah.
I take the first spot I see, and I always start by providing me the longest walk to the
There you go.
to the establishment.
You
Nope.
don't circle.
I don't circle. I'm not a
No.
circle.
I refuse to circle.
I'm
I'll take-
circle.
Never be an optimist. Take the first
I'm a
spot you
circle
see.
guy.
I will wear my tires down to a nub trying to find a better spot.
I will pull up to, say, Cub Foods, and there can be 100 open spaces, but I'll park 300 feet away from them just because I like to walk.
Me too.
You guys,
Me
you
too.
two don't like fun.
No.
Do you do the mission, Kenny? Do you do the Mission Impossible as you're driving through? You see somebody coming out, and you're
Yes. Do
trying
I
to get a better
follow?
crane
Am
in
I
your neck
right
and-
on their
Yes,
heels?
yes.
Say, I want to speak to you about Bradshaw and Bryant personal injury attorneys. Insurance companies and adjusters can be difficult to deal with, so you need somebody on your side. You need a team. Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant and his team are there to explain your rights, represent you, help you through a tough time. For 6 consecutive years, Mike Bryant has been recognized as a super lawyer and has been named among Minnesota's top 40 personal injury lawyers by Minnesota Law and Politics. That is the Bible for those designations. I hope you're never in an accident, but if you are, call Bradshaw and Bryant at 800-770-7008 or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com for a free case evaluation. And please don't be a part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted. That's just common sense from Bradshaw and Bryant.
With the kids.
Fighting the demagogues of diversity. It's Joe Soucheray.
Quick trigger finger there.
Better.
Before we go any further, please let me mention, because they're kind enough to do this every day, our news was brought to you by North American Banking Company. Thanks, fellas.
Let's go back to the Walls backing the Senate DFL plan to pay people $40 million of your money if they fell behind in the rent, including those who have broken the law or should be labeled as a predator, for example. And the great email from Chris saying that the new Brotherhood are the thieves. The old Brotherhood was, in fact, business leaders. That would be true the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings in any city in the country. And I suppose they got a lot of things done. The dome, as bad as it was, kept teams alive here. But that's a Brotherhood example. They needed look, everybody, we're building a dome whether you like it or not because these teams are important to the financial health of the city. So the dome got built and big,
Were they
tall.
Holly Dazzle maybe? I mean, just to get people downtown?
Probably. I mean, you go back far enough, it was the Brotherhood that saw the town get decorated for Christmas, for example. Okay, all of those things have been defeated by the new Brotherhood. It has come to pass that the old Brotherhood was viewed as just, white males who oppressed people. Even though what they really did is just they were constantly urging the financial health of the city, which benefited a lot of people,
right.
Principally them. But so what?
Okay.
The city worked. Now the new Brotherhood is, Keith Ellison and his band of fraudsters who have just figured out ways to just rob the taxpayers blind, allegedly.
Okay, allegedly is in there. Allegedly is noted.
But the difference is the new Brotherhood has nothing to do with improving anybody's life. The old Brotherhood,
yes.
Whether they intended to or not, improved the lives of the civilians in the city. It improved the financial health and the commerce of the entire city. Their motives might not have been altruistic, but that was the natural fallout of what they were up to.
Right. They were bringing in commerce.
Now the Brotherhood are people who, A, we don't know who they are, and B, they have nothing in mind except self-enrichment. They have nothing in mind except bringing an end to any thought that commerce is important. They don't care about that if they get theirs. They're a far more dastardly group than the original Brotherhood was.
In my eyes, they're made up, the new Brotherhood is made up of activists.
Yeah, they're activists. And what they're active about has nothing to do with success. Yeah. Right. It has nothing to do with the success of a city. It has to do with undermining that which used to make a city successful. That's the difference in the two Brotherhoods. The original Brotherhoods anywhere in the country. Well, look at New York's gone from having a Brotherhood to now a Marxist mayor. Minneapolis has gone from a Brotherhood to now having Marxist council members. St. Paul, to a degree, had a Brotherhood. It doesn't have one anymore.
No.
Where am I going with this? Where I'm going with it is it's even to the point where the current Brotherhood, which are these phony progressives, because the word means progress, and they offer no progress, they would excuse criminals. They want criminals to get the $40 million in relief to pay their rents, and if that isn't enough, they say if you're unfortunate enough to even have a job, we'll give you 20 weeks a year off. We passed a bill in the Senate that you don't even have to work. What is it, 12 weeks for each individual or something like that?
12 weeks for a baby, and then you get up to 20, so 8 weeks to care for someone if you need to.
So if you're victimized by having a job that's provided to you by one of these evil oppressors, we'll provide you 20 weeks a year when you don't even have to show up. Work is a terrible inconvenience to the progressives. You shouldn't have to work. You shouldn't have to pay your rent. You shouldn't have to be responsible for anything because we're all victims of the evil white founding of the country and how it came about, and it's completely unfair, and we're all getting robbed, and therefore, but still, see, you need the $40 million from the people who still work and pay the taxes. You need the $40 million.
Where do we get that?
To give away to the people who you don't think should work. What's going to happen?
Why do they continue to alienate us then?
What's going to happen when you don't have that
When we
$40 million?
We move away.
The pot is dry, is empty.
Yeah, you're going to go to the well one time in the not too distant future. You're not going to have any money you're not going to have other people's money to give to people. So then what are you? That's why this has never worked anywhere in the world. It never will. And yet we're hell bound to try it here. We're going to beat it till it's dead on the tracks. We're going to try this until we just have exhausted all means of funding it. It's ridiculous. It's just the way it is. And Minnesota is the worst state in the union for this. I don't know why any young family would even live in this state. I really have no idea.
Remember Rick Kupchela's piece, A Precarious State, where he gets chug-tie down there in front of the closed-up Calhoun Square. Remember what she said?
I can't remember.
This was our goal. Yeah. We wanted this. This is how we reset. We took away all the parking. We killed retail in Uptown, and this is all part of the plan. Is killing business is part of the plan.
The plan is to completely reinvent the landscape without evil oppressors providing you the job. So that means what? Well, you're about a year, 2, 3, or 4 away from exhausting all possible funding for your absurd plan. It can't happen. Nobody's going to stay here and pay taxes with this kind of leadership. No one.
And meanwhile, the owner of those vacant buildings can't pay for them, so they either go back to the bank or they get sold, and it just goes on and on and on. And they don't solve anything.
You can complain all you want about the old Brotherhood. You can say, well, they were male and they were white and they had big banks and big insurance companies and big businesses. Look what they did. They built those big office towers. Yeah, and those office towers were full of people raising families. They made money. And now you have nothing. They're selling gorgeous real estate in Minneapolis for pennies on the dollar. You've hollowed out everything that would contribute to the development of commerce and wealth for everyone. And you've done it out of your bitterness for the fact that people actually got rich doing this. They couldn't abide by that. And they have no experience themselves because they're all only professional activists. They've never worked. They've never met a payroll. They've never had to hire and fire. They've never done anything. They're renters. If they own a car, it's probably reluctantly, and they won't admit it. and they believe in public transportation. They have no grand view of America, no beautiful view of America. They only see problems.
Darkness.
They see darkness. They are dark people. And it's killing the state. And in this governor, they found the perfect foil. He doesn't know if he's on foot or horseback. He just goes along with them. And here we are. Here we are. And Kenny said something earlier. This isn't being turned around yet. If there ever is a yet, we haven't reached it. This isn't being turned around. Look, you had a Republican, Lucero, introduce an amendment to this ridiculous $40 million bill that says, well, can we at least give the money in rent relief to people who are legal U.S. citizens or have legal U.S. immigration status? No, we can't do that because Trump. That's why. We can't do that. So the state has... Compounding the state from beginning to turn this around is the vitriol for Trump. They fear that if they do anything like Lucero's amendment, that would show, they think that makes them pro-Trump. The two have nothing to do with each other. It's destroying this state, though. And Trump can't be let off the hook for that. He's destructive in nature for what he's
egging it on.
What he's done. And we're in a bad place. We are in a bad place nationally.
Do you know Catherine Kirsten?
Sure.
She has an interesting piece in the American Experiment today. Headline for years: Walz has been priming students to become activists.
I read it.
And of course, those activists, they turn into politicians, and they end up running our states and our counties and our cities. And there's not a Republican equivalent to that, is there?
No.
Republicans don't raise activists, they raise business people. People that get things done in the world.
Yeah. It would have been unheard of when I was in high school to walk out of school. And today
Not an option.
the kids have carte blanche to walk out of school to complain about something.
We face discipline on two different levels.
Yeah.
Whatever discipline we get at school, which would be nothing compared to what we get at home.
Yeah.
And now I don't think they're getting the discipline in either place.
I think they get encouraged to walk out.
Yeah. So that's where we are, folks. I'm still trying not to talk about fraud, but I can't help it. The legislature keeps coming up with it. Not to mention the $40 million will be fraudulently dispatched. It will be, if it passes. Maybe it won't. The House might say no, and it'll die on the vine. But it's one hell of a weird trial balloon for them to send up.
Yeah.
Hey, here's our new idea. Let's take $40 million of our overtaxed taxpayers that pay in, and let's give that money to people who didn't pay their rent. Now,
Okay.
and they'll hide behind the fact that, well, the Metro surge was here. It was difficult for people, and they were afraid to leave their house. And all of that's true. But you got to come up with a better way to figure that out than to just soak the taxpayers again.
It proves their disingenuous intentions, Joe. Why would you author and then try to pass a bill that you know is going with certainty? What am I trying to say? Is going to fail in the House.
Because it really appeals to
So why
their...
do they even do that, Joe?
Because
the same with this gun bill that would effectively ban all hunting rifles. Why would they propose that when they know it's not going to pass the House?
It appeals to the people who vote for them.
It's a waste of time. It doesn't get the state's business done. It's posturing. It's posing.
They view the state's business as deconstructing this state. That's their business.
Even when their failure has been proven over and over and over again.
I don't know any other way to look at it.
They have failed on almost every level, and yet they continue to.
Yeah. I
uplifting.
wish I did. I have no other way to look at it. What they're up to does not... And these are the collectivists. These are the people that wish good would happen to everybody, supposedly. Nothing they do contributes to the good of the average Minnesotan. Nothing. So where does that leave us?
Effed. It leaves us in Tanzania.
Only because they come to us. All the way from Penguin, Tasmania.
Ah, Tasmania.
The traveling Lamans. On this day,
March 16th.
in 1876, the St. Paul Society for Improving the Condition of the Poor. See,
Here we go.
This has always been thought about.
Now you got my attention.
Later became the Society for the Relief of the Poor, was organized to give aid to people who need food, fuel, and work.
Wait, what was the last one?
Work. Early officers included Henry M. Rice, Alexander Ramsey, Henry H. Sibley, and William R. Marshall.
Henry Sibley? I thought that's a nice thing, but I thought he was just bad.
On this day,
March 16th.
in 1882, noted aesthete Oscar Wilde lectured at the Opera House in St. Paul. St. Paul does no longer have an opera house. He had spoken the day before at the Academy of Music in Minneapolis.
Oh, fun.
Just imagine, we had an opera house and an Academy of Music
in Minneapolis.
On this day,
March
I can't
16th.
believe Oscar Wilde was here.
yeah,
That's amazing.
on this day,
March 16th.
1912, Clyde Elmer Anderson was born in Brainerd, a champion of social and humanitarian causes. He served a record 11 years as the state's lieutenant governor, beginning in 1939, and then as the state's 28th governor from 51 to 55. He died in 1998. On this day in Minnesota sports
Bro lived a full
disappointment
life.
history,
March 16th.
2020, the Vikings extended the contract of Kirk Cousins and traded Stephon Diggs. I don't remember any of that. I don't really care, but that's what happened.
Can't argue with the facts.
Thank you so much, GLers.
Yeah. Pick me up Monday, huh? So you can go to garagelogic.com if you're looking for the goings-on of Gumption County. There's a lot of stuff available. Also, if you're looking for a tire, we've got a tire that's coming very soon. Is that online right now? Can you get online stuff right now, or is that up and coming?
A tire?
Soon? Yeah, like shirts and stuff. And
Oh, ATTIRE.
Yeah, what'd you
I
think?
thought you meant a tire
Goodyear.
for a
if
car.
you need a
I
tire,
did
instead of
too.
going to Marketplace, Facebook,
Why
just
do
go
you
to
say
our website.
clothing?
Clothing. That sounds weird. It sounds
So
like
does a tire.
Goodwill. Sounds like Goodwill. Clothing.
And I was thinking one tire.
Well, sign up for Garage Logic on YouTube. Sign up for the Garage Logic Town Council. It's all available to you at garagelogic.com. Super easy. If you need a tire or some shocks,
All right, we got to do a quick one today.
hey, don't argue.
I don't think he is.
He was putting up a little fight there.
Gabe.
No, Gabe's